Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Sunday, the 1st of September. Lots going on the impact map for today. Thunderstorms with mixed wet and dry, but a fair amount of dry across both southern portions of Utah and the Arizona Strip, but another port that's going up into northeastern Nevada, also a concern, as well as some gusty winds starting off the Sierra front. Those winds will become stronger and more widespread as we go into Monday, as will the lightning going from central portions of the Great Basin into much of Idaho, a mix of wet and dry. But you'll notice the lightning gets a little wetter as we go into Tuesday across many areas. There'll be a brief respite before we get hot and dry, but on the backside of the thunderstorms with drier air pushing it from the west, dry, breezy conditions where you see the areas in the orange. We did have some lightning breaking out across southern areas, pushing up into southern and south central Nevada. Precipitation with that was fairly light. We had new fire starts in the red, recent fires in the yellow, and precipitation over the past 2 weeks, not that much, confined mainly to the eastern portion of the Great Basin, not much at all up in Idaho. As we look at the ERC point map, you can see how much our ERCs have totally dried out across many areas. The 90th percentiles have expanded across large portions of Idaho, also parts of northeast Nevada and the Sierra front. Still moist, but starting to dry out across the south and east. Our smoke expectations today should be some good burning, and you see that smoke moving from southwest to northeast, pushing up into parts of Montana. Similar story for tomorrow, actually a bit stronger winds. We should see more mixing as we go in the next 24 hours. Now for today, we do have high risk for lightning across eastern Nevada from about Ely on northwards towards the Idaho border. You can see under this high pressure ridge, this area in the black and a few green dots here, very subtle to see, is where we'll see isolated storms, but on the drier side. Part of that is due to this low pressure area making the atmosphere more unstable. You can see the relative humidities on the left, winds on the left side here in the Sierra, kind of gusty, but not much elsewhere. Some of these little blips you see here in northeastern Nevada is where the model thinks that thunderstorm outflow boundaries will be occurring. Otherwise, winds fairly light at the surface. If you look here on the right-hand side, you will see very small specks of very light precipitation, 0.01, 0.02, but the coverage is fairly large, and this is where we're concerned about lightning and new stars. We can't even rule out some stuff in southwest Utah as well. You see temperatures on the left warming up quite a bit into the 90s through many areas. Now for tomorrow, that low pressure area makes its way onshore across central Oregon, strong southerly flow, widespread thunderstorms all across central and northern areas, and on the backside in this tannish, drier shade, gusty winds, lowering humidity, where we have high risk for wind in the western Great Basin and high risk for lightning points further north and east. So a busy day shaping up on Monday. You see those humidities still dry, but starting to come up a little bit. You see the winds on the right-hand side. The purples indicate gusts could approach 40 miles an hour. These little circular areas here, again, outflow boundaries from thunderstorms. That'll be in the vicinity. And you can see the precipitation coverage, more widespread, also a little bit wetter. We're seeing some cores here in these lime greens of about a tenth to a quarter of an inch. Even these pinks are localized areas of a half inch. So it could be somewhat wetter storms, but dry storms mixed in between. And on Tuesday, that low moves up into parts of eastern Idaho, taking the thunderstorm activity with it. We'll see some moistening. That's why lots of Idaho has gone into the yellow shade on the 7-day. But we do have high risk for winds. A little bit here. It'll be marginal, but in eastern Nevada, coming on the backside of this low, you can see some of those winds here in these orange shades gusting close to 30 miles per hour. The humidity dropping down near 10%. And temperatures still on the warm side. And you see the showers and precipitation continuing again over the 24 hours. Some of this will be occurring overnight the previous night. This is a 3-day precipitation totals, and overall, other than right along the Salmon River, nothing too heavy. So ignitions, good possibility of happening with the lightning, because and the holdovers as well, because high pressure builds in with hot, dry weather. You see this dry air mass expand in coverage on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, the high pressure builds. A little bit of a weak upper level low starting here on Friday, and maybe by Saturday, maybe some more, a piece of monsoonal moisture gets ingested into central Nevada. We'll see how this plays out. But you see how much we've dried out since then. So our activity continues. 7-day precip totals, most of this in the first 3 days. And the 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us through the second week of September, continued much above normal temperature probabilities and drier than normal conditions. So fire season continues until further notice. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.